Hello, everyone. We are back and we are continuing our girl boss's journey as a baby vampire in Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Girl Boss Night 6. Okay, so catch us up. We spent some time with the detective guy. We also spent time with Tamika before. We desperately need food. Yeah, I guess I didn't eat enough. So, or she didn't eat enough. So let's see what we can. Let's just review what's going on. Okay, so we have a paper. We could go to Prospect Park to help out her thing. Um, check up on him. This was the new thing. We had an invitation to meet a mysterious someone. No, let's just stick with let's just stick with the other girls. Okay. As you open the blinds, you're able to spot a small grayish bird flying off into the night. Looking down, you notice a small piece of paper on the windowsill. Prospect, ASAP, Tam. Third time's the charm, you think to yourself as you once again cross the gate of Prospect Park and head for Tamika's Haven. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds and squirrels mostly. The critters each patiently await their turn as she flicks seeds at them. It looks almost whimsical in a twisted sort of way. I mean, I would like to have animal friends like that. Hiding in plain sight, you wanted to see me. How are you holding? Yeah, I'm gonna ask her how she's doing. Hell of a week, huh? How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds onto the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition has a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The sacred or oh no, okay, no, I think that's scarred, not sacred. Okay, the crazy wolf man type dude who's just a vampire that's starved. Okay. I want to pay them a visit, kill that thing, and as many of those SI bastards as I can along the way. I like her. That's a terrible idea. Isn't that a breach of the masquerade? Yeah, I'm gonna ask her if it's worth it. Okay. Is it really worth it? I know you want revenge for your sister, but at the very least, it's a clear violation of the masquerade. Yeah, and that's the least of our worries. Throw in a legion of armed goons standing in our way and an all-powerful vampire as the cherry on top. But there's more to it than just revenge. I think it can help me find out who I really am. I know it sounds corny, but I can't really explain it better than that. Trust me, I'm not taking this lightly. It's just something I have to do, with or without you. Um, yeah, does Raoul know about this? I don't think he would be happy. Just out of curiosity, does Raoul know about this master plan of yours? He doesn't now. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. Son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. Tamika eyeballs him as he gets closer. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position, but this time it comes off as a formality rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raoul? Long enough. I'm still not buying that whole scarred one bullcrap, but taking a bite out of the Inquisition collective ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. Okay, at least she's not alone if I bail on this. Uh, honestly, yeah, believe it or not, be ready for it, bro. It's there. Okay. Well, the scarred one, Santa, or the Tooth Fairy, just know that it's very real and very dangerous. Ugh, fine. Consider me fairly warned. Now can we move this along? I'm itching to kill some more SI fucks. I'm asking Tamika. Tamika, you got an opinion? Guess I know who the alpha is around here. Look, man, I'm younger than her. She can she can make calls on this. Okay, he should come with us. He's got the right to be there, to see the scarred one with his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass, but he's one hell of a fighter. There you go, Tam's seal of approval. It's settled then, let's go. Fucking finally. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself for things to come. As you get closer to your destination, you get the sinking suspicion that Tamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Fort Tryon Park. It doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot between here and the Hudson River. But it can't be, can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters comes into view, Tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell is this well known tourist trap a hideout for the Second Inquisition? Get the cloisters, seriously? I mean, okay, it's a tourist trap, but like, it's not exactly, you know, around other touristy things. It's not the easiest place to get to. I think it's really, I forget if it's really far uptown or really far downtown in Manhattan. Okay, I think it's closer to the Bronx, which, you know, that's annoying for a lot of people to get to. Um, okay, talk about hiding in plain sight, huh? This place used to be a lot of things. Now it serves as a staging ground for the Inquisition. If my sources are to be trusted, and they usually are, they brought him here for what they call processing. Doubt they'll keep him here for long, though. If we want to get to him, it's now or never. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walks out of the museum, pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top of it. As they wheel it out into the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7, probably more inside. We should do this quietly and take them out one by one. Raoul frowns. I say we go in guns blazing, figuratively speaking. If there's more inside, let them come, the more the merrier. Hmm. Let's go with the frontal assault. Let's try the stealthy approach. Why don't I talk to them? I'm gonna say stealth approach. Tamika's right. We should get in quietly, take them out one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Ugh, fine. Then let's do this already, before you two bore me to final death. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible, sticking to the shadows. You advance, keeping track of one another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard, not a peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills one to your left. He's sloppy, takes his sweet-ass time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, the man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. With the guard fast approaching, you ponder your options. Yeah, I'm gonna choke him out. I think that's the quieter way to go. As the guard walks by, you leap out of the shadows and put him in a crushing headlock, opting for a non-lethal approach. Oh! I thought both options would end in death, but okay, we'll see how this affects things. Just as you're about to move on, Raoul jumps in and plunges his claws into the man's chest. He then turns towards you and mutters a silent reprimand. No witnesses on. I didn't know he was gonna be alive. I figured if I used my teeth, he might scream, but like choking him out, he'd be quieter. Jeez, stop judging me. I'm still only been a vampire for like less than a week. Okay, 3 down, 4 to go. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part, 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again, at least this time he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other. Tamika's quieter, but Raoul's closer. Which one will you choose? I mean, yeah, let Raoul do it, and you nod to Raoul. That's all the encouragement he needs. You can see him grinning like an idiot as he sneaks up on one of the guards. The grin soon turned out to be very fitting. Instead of dispatching the enemy quickly and quietly, Raoul gleefully taps him on the shoulder. Oh my... Dude! As soon as the guy turns around, the feral slashes him across the face. Feeling the gooey warmth of his own eyeballs on his cheeks, the man lets out a blood-curdling scream. Moron. I should have picked Tamika. Okay, startled, the final guard turns towards you. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, he keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Raoul. He is severely fucked and he knows it. And since you're standing closest to him, you might as well do the honors. Feeding opportunity. I need the food. Like, you see how, you know, the blood here is... It's changing. That means I need food. Okay, you walk over to the quivering mess that mere minutes ago thought himself the toughest of the tough. Before he can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in and smile. Hi. Half a second later, your fangs are already halfway to his windpipe. The blood tastes sour with a hint of cowardice and regret. How do you taste cowardice and regret? Alright, could have gone out with a bang, but chose to go out with a gurgle. Oh well. With the SI operatives taken care of, you return your attention to the container sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured within an inch of its own life, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery. What the fuck is that thing? Let's see. The boogeyman, it's what you refuse to believe. It's what happens when you lose control. Yep, it's what happens when you lose it, when you let the beast take over. His lips move silently as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at the scarred one, the once fearful boogeyman whose very mention could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe, now reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion. Then she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost. Tam, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing and get out of here. You sure this doesn't... Okay, you sure somehow doesn't seem right? He's right, it's what you came here to do. I'm just telling her it's her choice. I mean, this is her thing. It's your choice. I can't make it for you. She turns to you with a look of pride mixed with desperation. I'm not asking you to. Do it, Tam. You know he deserves it. Hell, looks like you'll be doing him a favor. He made his choice a long time ago. You don't have to. Or whatever you do, there will be consequences. Um, I mean, I guess, but I don't know if she needs to hear that. Yeah, I'll say he's made his choice a long time ago, but it doesn't need to be your choice. Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She walks up to the scarred one. The pitiful creature presses itself into the corner in a desperate and futile attempt to crawl away. Without a word, she grabs the creature by the ears, sinking her claws in the sides of his head. She looks him dead in the eye. Her voice cuts through the air like cold steel. Stay out of my territory. In one fluid motion, she rips the chain off the wall. The pitiful shadow that was once the scarred one scurries off into the night. Ral seems flabbergasted. Tam, what the hell are you doing? She's carving her own path. Standing outside the steel container, the three of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another, the blood staining your hands, clothes, and faces. In the pale moonlight, it appears black and shiny, like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back towards the city lights. The journey back takes longer than it did in the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still stuck to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead. Both you and Raoul are quite content to follow her lead. You can tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger somehow, confident, more in tune with herself. Soon, the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you're willing to risk making small talk with Raoul. Still not sure what happened back there? You think she's gonna be alright? You think she made the right choice? Yeah, I don't know. You think she's gonna be okay? Yeah, I think so. She's just gotta figure some stuff out. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can either let it control us or become attuned to it. It's a constant struggle, marked with difficult choices. I think Tam just made one of them. Pondering what you've just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourself back at Prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate like a queen of old, returning after a victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Raoul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And hey, you did all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're still an asshole. But yeah, thanks. And thanks to you too, bro. He smiles at you. Wonders never cease. See you around. And with that, he follows his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you meld into the New York night. Let's see. There's this dude. Oh, we need to rest. Okay, so we can't visit more people first. We will rest. You're walking down the street towards your haven. In some other town, the sidewalks would be deserted this time of night. In New York City, there are plenty of passers-by going about their business. Okay, I don't know how late it is or exactly. Okay, if we're like in a touristy area like this, like, like Rockefeller Center, yeah, there's going to be people out super late at night. But I know in the wee hours of the morning, it still is fairly quiet. But yeah, I don't know about plenty of people. Like, we need to know what time at night it is. If it's like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., probably fairly chill. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The kindred have many enemies, and all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look like people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker or a kindred thrall tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a patrol car ordinary cops or Second Inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone is watching you. It's not the first time you felt like this. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone is tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun is coming up soon, and you'll burn to a crisp if you stay on the streets. You reach your haven and settle in for the day, disconcerted by the idea that someone might know where you sleep. Okay. Okay, it's freshly nighttime again. As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing on the corner and looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey from whom you recently met, Jackie. He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. You can tell he's guarded and suspicious after what you made him do the last time you met. His hands are outside of his pockets, though, a sign of goodwill. That's close enough. What the hell do you want? Says who? Let me guess. Kaiser sent you. Yes. Let me guess. This is not a social visit. Kaiser sent you. Don't say his name out loud, idiot. He takes a look around just to make sure nobody's listening in on your conversation. I think that was supposed to be, like in italicized, but maybe it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, he sent me. I'm supposed to give you this. He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. Read it, memorize it, then give it back here. It's a letter. The paper might be just a page ripped out of a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads, "Time to square your debt with me. Go to the wine shop at 232 Mulberry Street and ask for the 1821 Special Reserve, Donatello Negro Amaro." Okay, you know what? I'm going to write this down because they might ask me to recall this information. So I'm getting this down on a piece of paper. Hee hee. And yeah, I know he said memorize it, but you can cheat when you're playing the game in real life. Okay, we wrote that down. We cheated. When they tell you they don't have it, say you are a Fidel Servitor della Famiglia G. Okay. Okay, so this some Italian thing going on. Just writing this down so I remember it. I don't know the difficulty level of this game. Make sure you get the G right. You'll get a bottle. Just take it and leave by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else. Just walk out. When you have it, come back to Jackie Boy here and let him know. You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over. What's the rush, buddy? Yeah. Didn't think your ball. No, of course he was a letter guy. I'm asking him, what's the rush, buddy? Yeah. Hey, it's your funeral. I can stand here all night and even enjoy a nice sunrise while I'm at it. Not a luxury you have. Man, what a jerk. Okay, just hand me back the letter once you're done. You note the phrases and address mentioned in the letter, then hand it back to Jackie. He immediately reaches for a lighter and burns the letter, putting out the ashes with his boot. Yeah, but not in, okay, well, it's late at night, but it's like early evening, so there's still probably plenty of people out. I feel like this is a really conspicuous thing to do. Like, you know, or it's fairly conspicuous. Yeah, wait, we gotta pause right now. I will continue next time. Let's see. I just gotta, yeah, save and exit. Sorry. Yeah. Thing came up. I will continue this. Okay, and we are back after interruption I had. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. No, yeah, we read this part. Okay, he shuffles away and... Oh, wait, did I fast forward too much? Okay, I'll be in that alley over there, and when you have the item, whatever it is, I don't know, and the boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care, so I don't see you. Okay, okay, yeah, when you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. Okay, so... Going to Nolita. You arrive at the address mentioned in the note. Not counting local restaurant patrons, the street is mostly empty at this time of night, but curiously, the wine shop is still open. People need their booze at nighttime, and I don't know if it's that curious. Inside, a small middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter in front of a wall filled with wine bottles. There's a door at the back of the room with a small table and chair occupied by a man in a black faux leather jacket with slick combed back hair. He's reading a newspaper but pauses as a little bell rings when you open the door. He takes a sip from a small steaming cup, then gets back to his broadsheet. Good evening. How can I help you? Okay, be direct, chat her up, tell her a friend sent you. I'm gonna be direct. Like, I don't have time to waste. I would like a bottle of 1821 Special Reserve. Oh, I didn't even need to remember this. Okay, Special Reserve Donatello Negro Amaro, please. Let me check our stock. She seems to be looking through a database on the laptop sitting on the counter. She puts on a polite smile. I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment. Sorry. Recite the phrase, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's, okay, Mafia speak. Ah, in that case, let me see if we have any in the back. Wait here, please. The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from the nearby glass. He tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes. I'm gonna say style it and wait. I'm not starting problems. You remind yourself of what Kaiser wrote in the letter and keep quiet, patiently waiting for the woman to return from the back of the store. The man finishes his drink and starts doodling on the newspaper, his eyes darting to you every so often. Okay, then. The doors to the back of the store open, and the proprietor emerges with a small, unlabeled, squat bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologetic smile. Scusi, sorry for taking so long. I can't do an Italian accent, sorry. Turns out we did have it. She offers you the bottle, and you reach out to grab it, but she retracts it. You do know what this is, don't you? Yeah, it's wine. Well, of course, it's the best kind of wine. Enjoy. I guess it's blood. It's probably blood. She winks at you. Deciding you've pushed your luck far enough, you nod and exit the store, then take a brisk walk to your car. Nobody follows you as you leave Nolita and drive back to your apartment. But my question, like, are you parked illegally? Is there parking? Did you park in front of a hydrant? Did you double park? These are questions I have. See, these are questions I have. Did she double park? Did she park in front of a hydrant? Did she park in a spot she's not supposed to? You know, is there actually parking at this time of night? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. This is more of a vampire game than a New York game. Let's be real. Come on, if New York people wrote this, I think they'd factor in like, oh man, there was a magical parking spot right there. Or they would clarify, at this time of night, parking is not so bad. But I don't know. I think the parking situation is probably a mess. You know, or does she like park in nearby garages? I want to know, like, does Sophie have a membership with, you know, some garage chain or various garages where, you know, she can just park the cars in whenever? These are questions I ask. Okay. It takes you time. Okay, now, okay. It takes you some time to find a parking spot, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. Wait, you have to find a parking spot? I thought that these buildings had garages. I mean, I know that they brought the car out and they were just like, oh, here's a car for you. But, man, I know she's a rich lady, so, like, I figured she'd have some parking spots, like, you know, like the rich people do. They have garages in the basement of their buildings. Okay, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. He's not far from where you parted ways just under 2 hours ago. Got the goods. Yeah? Cool, stand by, gotta make the call. He takes a few more steps into a narrow space between two buildings and takes out the same high-tech phone you saw him carrying last time. Hey, boss, yeah, they have it. Where do I point them to? Okay, yeah, I'll tell him to go there right away. He puts the phone back in his pocket and turns back to you. Willets Point, half an hour, so you better step on it. See you around. Okay, Willets Point, are there... I have to double check if you can actually get to, like... Yeah, so, like, Willets Point, that's like Shea Stadium, City Field. Can you get there in 30 minutes from Radio City area, which is where I assume we're at? I don't know if it's actually going to take 30 minutes, even driving, like, when there's not maybe when there's not traffic? That still seems like too short of a time. Okay. With only a flippant salute, Jackie starts walking down the street. You make your way back to the car and drive. You had to push the speed limit. Okay, okay, thank you for justifying. To make... this is making me nostalgic because they're showing Willets Point look all run down and full of junk shops, and it's not all gentrified yet. I wonder if it's still Shea Stadium there instead of stupid City Field. I mean, no offense to City Field, but Shea Stadium had the neon lights and, like, the blue and orange, and they just don't go together at all, but it worked for the Mets. It was such a cool-looking stadium, and then City Field is just the most generic shit. Man, and it's like, this is what it used to be like, and there'd be, like, rats running around and stuff, and, like, yeah, it was nasty, but, like... You know, cities need junkyards and auto body shops and stuff. Okay, so you had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here. Willets Point is quite a change of scenery. This place is a post-industrial dump. Yeah, and it should stay that way. They should stop trying to gentrify it. The nearby stadium is notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes will kill your chassis. Yeah. Well, I mean, and okay, the pothole thing hasn't really changed. You step out, like, literally everywhere in the city. Okay, you step out into one of those gashes in the asphalt, splashing in the ankle-deep water. Kaiser's limo is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted, other than the apparent proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman who's just locking the place up. Yeah, I should take the feeding opportunity. Okay, this is too perfect an opportunity to not take advantage of. She's walking to her car, ready to call it a night when you sneak up on her. She's too far tired to resist your strong hold and swift bite. You can taste the caffeine in her veins, smell the cheap cigarettes in her hair, the old cooking grease in her clothes. She passes out. You assault the closing note of a long day at work. You let her down gently and feel a pang of remorse. You pick up the car key she dropped and place her in the driver's seat. She'll find an explanation for passing out like this for sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, I do feel kind of bad about that now. Okay. The bright lights of a car pulling over down the road illuminate as you close the door. It's a black limo. Kaiser is finally here, it would seem. Same as last time, the car doors open, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time, Kaiser is visible when you look inside. You sit down and close the door behind you.
So, you pulled it off without a hitch then. Give it here.
You hand the bottle over to the Nosferatu. He uncorks it, gently takes a whiff, and puts the cork back in.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Good. I was ready to fuck you up real bad if you didn't deliver the goods, but I see you're not totally useless.
I guess it's drugs. I guess it's vampire drugs.
Here's Langley's precious address.
He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. I'm just gonna say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah, I'll send Jackie over if I ever need anything else from you. How about
That. No, fuck you, bro! Okay,
time for you to get out now?
he waves you out of the car with the envelope in hand. You get out, back onto the torn asphalt, in decrepit surroundings. The limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wanted. Gregory lets you in. You hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh, and you realize Sophie's having a guest over. Thomas Arturo, you met in Elysium a few nights back. That shriek is unmistakable. Ah, girl boss, so glad to see you. Tell me, did you two have a chance to talk previously? Thomas speaks up before you can. Why, yes, of course. And such a good first impression you made, too. Miss Langley clearly did the right thing by taking you under her wing. I'm sure she thinks so, too, don't you, Sophie? Why, of course, Of course you do, of course. Well, I believe I must be going. I'll be sure to let the Prince Panhard know your thoughts, Miss Langley, word for word, or as close as I can remember them. I appreciate it, Thomas. You two enjoy your night now. Good night, Sophie, girl boss, Greggy boy. He gives you a sly smile. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of the hand towards his host and you. The doors close. Yeah, he's quite the character, isn't he? Yes, quite, but he has his uses. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone from the prince to the lowliest primorgan. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, you have been putting mine to the test lately. Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for? Um, yes, but I had to. Let me just see. Yeah, but I had to do another job for him first, because freaking asshole guy. Yes, I have it, but the data you offered was old news to him. I had to do another job for him before he would give me this card. She retrieves the envelope from you. I'm sure he did. I do hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he made me go on an entirely separate escapade to retrieve a bottle of wine from a store in Nolita. I had to use code phrases and whatnot. Wine shop code phrases? That degenerate pest. She's visibly agitated, but calms down and smiles at you. Don't worry about it. I'm sure that whatever Kaiser had you do, it'll blow over. She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw on Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen. Yes, excellent. I need to call in some favors. I will likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear charge. I will contact you soon. With that, Sophie ushers you outside, and you are left to do with the rest of this night's hours as you like. You know, I kind of thought that this sugar mommy vampire was just going to be a little bit more involved in our story, but I don't know. Maybe that'll come back later. Okay. So let's see who we can see. Oh, Tamika. Um. Oh, man, so many people. Okay. Time to figure out who's been stalking us. Um. There's so much to do. I guess this is going to take multiple playthroughs, or this game might take a while. Um. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say I kind of want to see what's going on with this guy because I find this guy entertaining, but I also need to see what's going on here. Um, yeah, I don't need to go to any of these. Let me just continue the stories I've already started. Okay. You make your way through the now familiar rusty maze of the grain terminal and up the stairs to D'Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There's a note pinned to the door. You rip it off and scan the crooked lettering.
There's been another one at the scene now. Come to Bed-Stuy. Corner Pulowski and Garvey. ASAP.
Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. Better get going. As you approach the address D'Angelo gave you, a squad car passes you by, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn from Declab Avenue onto Pulowski Street. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light, and the 4 or so police cars parked on the nearest corner next to an ambulance confirm you're in the right place. You move closer to what appears to be a New York's finest convention, looking around in the hopes of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. True to his Nosferatu lineage, D'Angelo is nowhere to be seen. You stop on the sidewalk across the street, trying not to draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance to the building looks straight at you. He does a double take, and you instinctively look away. Bad move, you think to yourself, and notice him making his way towards you. Um, Start walking away. Slowly but surely, you turn away and start walking in the opposite direction. The cop yells after you, trying to get your attention. You ignore him and pick up the pace. He does not let up. Damn it! Suddenly, as you're passing a dark alleyway, someone grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smell of cigars and cheap cologne don't give him away, the gravelly voice sure does.
Don't move a muscle.
With your back pressed against the brick wall, you remain perfectly still, waiting for the cop to walk past the alley.
Good thing I was around, huh? Come on, I'm parked nearby.
Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan parked half a block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering. Um, hmm. Let me talk to them. I'll get us in. Okay, I think eating the cops is kind of dangerous. Um, yeah, let me talk to them. Why don't I talk to them? I might convince them to let us in. He gives you a look as if you've just let rip a massive fart. Okay. Right. Look, kid, it's not that I don't trust you, but how about we give that raw animal magnetism of yours a dry run, huh? Pretend I'm one of the cops guarding the entrance, convince me to let you in. Um, yeah, I'll pose as a tenant. Evening, officers. I live here. Is there a problem? Yeah, this here is an active crime scene. Be on your way. But, hey, it's your butt against mine. Get lost. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. You can do your thing. Of course I am. So what else you got? Um, do your shadowy, sulky thing. How about we do your shadow, sulky thing? Maybe you can find some way to let me in from the inside.
Shadowy skulky thingy? Jesus, kid.
Child's phrasing aside, it's
Good approach as any, I guess.
without another word, he gets out of the car and heads for a nearby back alley. You watch in silence as he disappears into the shadows. A minute passes, then another one, another. You begin to worry. What if there were more cops inside? What if your multi partner has gotten himself into trouble? Suddenly, a shadowy silhouette appears before one of the windows on the second floor. Looks like he made it in after all. At least you hope it's him. The shadow waves at you and points to the corner of the building opposite the two cops. You get out of the car and quietly make your way towards the alley. Sure enough, you find that a fire escape ladder has been conveniently dropped for you. Good work, D, you mumble to yourself as you climb to the second floor. Finding the crime scene proves easy enough. You just follow the yellow police tape. Before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be someone's living room. Wait, let me try to read this. His gift are something. Okay, they'll probably tell me what that says. The place has been completely trashed, knocked over, furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, His gift, our fate. You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the ones you saw back in Red Hook. Sure enough, there's very little in terms of blood, save for the occasional stain that's bound to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. D'Angelo leans against the doorway. He seems lost in his thoughts, sucking on his cigar compulsively and mumbling to himself. You lean over a bit, trying not to make it obvious that you're listening in. You manage to catch the last few lines of his monologue.
The night's been kind to them so far, but the questions keep piling on, and now they found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life. It was up to them to sift through the debris and come up with a neat little pile of answers.
Suddenly, he tenses up, as if sensing your eyes on him.
Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catch your eye?
Um, yeah, another piece of graffiti. His gift, our fate.
Yeah, there's that. What do you think it means?
It's about Kane. It seems apocalyptic. I don't remember who Kane is, but I'll just say his gift. Isn't there a theory that Kane was the first vampire?
Oh, it's more than a theory. To some, it's a deeply held belief. And yeah, you're right. It's about the gift of Cain, as in vampirism, our fate. Clearly, someone wasn't too happy to receive it. God damn it, I hate where this is going.
Why? It looks like you were right. Why? The thin blood angle seems to check out. It looks like you were right.
Yeah, well, this time I'd rather be wrong, alright? Anyways, looks like we're not getting any more out of this place. No way around it. We gotta see the lobby. The body.
Okay. Is that really necessary? Are you protecting the thin bloods? Um, yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Yo, you have a thing for thin bloods, D? Because it looks like you're desperately trying to prove that they're not involved in this.
Look, kid, the Duskborn have shitty luck as it is. I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaching the Masquerade. The least I can do is some goddamn due diligence.
He shoots you a scornful look.
Like a goddamn detective would.
He mumbles to himself for a short while, but ultimately he regains his composure and his train of thought.
Luckily for us, I might know someone who could get us an audience with our dearly departed.
To your surprise, he pulls out a cell phone, a busted old clamshell. He flips it open and spends a good minute browsing through the contacts, muttering to himself. Finally, he makes a call.
Hey, you know who this is, yeah. That favor you owe me? Time to deliver. Listen, I know you got a fresh one. The murder in Bed-Stuy. I need to take a look. Yes, now. Yeah, you'd better.
With that, he hangs up and gives you his trademark wry smile. Oh, I guess cell phones aren't allowed. Yeah, I thought they said cell phones aren't allowed.
Only if you tell them.
Yeah, so how the heck do they? I guess they have messenger animals or something when they need to summon people for their little vampire council meetings. Okay,
Look, kid, I don't use it willy-nilly, alright? It's for special occasions. You don't always have time to throw fucking rocks at windows. Can you live with that, or should I worry about being sent to the principal's office?
and I'm not gonna rat on you. Yeah, relax, D. I'm not gonna rat on you. He shoots you a smile. For some reason, it seems less crooked than usual.
Good to know, kid. Anyway, it looks like my guy's gonna come through. Next stop, Kings County.
Kings County, the bleeding heart of Brooklyn. It's beating as hard as ever, with ambulance after ambulance bringing in sick and wounded New Yorkers to be pumped through the tight arteries of the healthcare system. It's a dangerous place for a kindred to show their face, incessantly crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sorts of physical afflictions, especially the sort that make up the very essence of a vampire's existence. For instance, death. Thankfully, your business here tonight keeps you away from the hectic human hive of the ER. Instead, you follow D'Angelo to a relatively quiet part of the underground parking lot that's closest to your current point of interest, the Kings County morgue. Having found yourself a convenient and suitably unlit spot near the hospital wall, you wait patiently for D'Angelo's contact to appear. Every now and then you glance over at the undead gumshoe, as if to make sure his moldy mug isn't showing any signs of worry. It isn't, or at least he's very good at hiding it. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges from a side entrance. As the human-shaped shadow walks by, you're quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back and make sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette. Without even looking in your direction, he takes a puff and explains, seemingly to no one in particular, "Room 112, you got 20 minutes." D'Angelo speaks without looking at you.
That's our cue.
You follow the fanged detective through the same door the EMT walked out of. Luckily, this wing of the hospital seems unusually empty. Still, the confidence with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridors makes it clear he's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of the doors, room 112. That's your stop. The room is small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall and a single slab mounted in its center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is splayed out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. Try as you might, you can't help but look at the man's face, his features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Looking closely, you notice two small puncture wounds on the victim's neck. If there was ever a clearer sign of a vampire attack, you've yet to see it. Looking over at D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in a familiar fashion. He's narrating again. Before he can utter an intelligible word, you cut in with a remark. Yeah, look at his face. Yeah, Jesus, the look on his face. It's like nightmare fuel.
No kidding, which means he was fully aware all the way through. He knew he was dying, which, combined with the blood loss and the teeth marks on his neck, confirms our hypothesis. We have a serial thin blood on our hands. Fuck.
As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in, with his eyes fixed on his clipboard. He doesn't appear to notice you yet. Um, hmm. I'm gonna eat him. Letting your instincts take over, you pounce on the unsuspecting doctor, plugging your fangs into his aorta. The precious liquid tastes sickeningly sweet, making you feel a bit lightheaded. It appears the good doctor has been getting high on his own supply. It's drug blood! It takes you a moment to get your fill, but when you're finally done, you immediately feel D'Angelo's eyes on you. You start coming up with an excuse, but he just smirks. but I was hungry. You're quick, kid. I'll give you that. Beat me to it by a pube.
Now come on, let's get out of here.
Time to pay our dear Primorgan another visit. Robert Larson's home looks about the same as last time. No added security, no angry dogs prowling the yard. It appears that the thin blood Primorgan would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than to arouse suspicion of his family and neighbors, which is good considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light at Larson's study is on, and you even catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're going to get Larson's attention this time. Without a single word, D'Angelo walks over to a nearby street lamp and leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like time for subtlety is over. It only takes a couple of minutes for Larson to take notice. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front and in D'Angelo's face. Okay, like you storming out and being all angry, that's gonna draw attention to you, bro. That's gonna draw attention to you, but okay. Listen to me, you moldy fuck. I've had just about enough of your shit. You want to pester me, fine, but leave my family out of it. Dude, where else are we gonna freaking find you without, this is where you are. For a moment, D'Angelo just stands there motionless, allowing Larson to get his frustrations out. Suddenly, he grabs the thin blood by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smashes his back against the lamppost. Yeah, this guy's annoying. Are you finished? All right, now you listen to me and listen good. You think I'm enjoying this? You think I like to be jerked around? You think I got nothing better to do than hang around this little puppet theater you've made for yourself? Now, either you give me a lead I can follow, or I'll start remembering things you'd rather forget. For the first time since you met him, Larson looks speechless. His eyes wide with fear, he can only mutter under his breath, "You wouldn't dare. Try me." Cue awkward silence. You stand there, shifting your eyes from one vampire to the other. Guess it's time to either press the advantage or play the good cop. Yeah, I'll play good cop. Okay, that's obviously bad cop. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, good cop would probably be. Take it easy, D'Angelo. Let's not make a scene.
Why not? I like making a scene. It's not like we're getting shit done. Might as well make a show of it.
If you want my help, put me the fuck down. With his feet back on the ground, Larson straightens his collar in a faint attempt at preserving some shred of dignity. There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side, one of the few places in the city where my people can find shelter.
Yeah, I know it.
If you go there right now, you might find what you're. Oh, no, wait. If you go there right now, you might find what you're looking for. D'Angelo stares at him for a moment, just long enough to make it uncomfortable.
We'd better.
Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder like he's going to tell the teacher on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what the whole things you'd rather forget deal was, as if sensing your curiosity. D'Angelo cuts in with a preemptive mutter.
Come on, we got what we came for.
As you reach the address Larson gave you, you find yourself standing in front of what looks like an old garage. On the outside, the place looks as uninteresting as it gets. You'd think it abandoned, if not for the few barely working lights illuminating its shabby facade. Once you're inside, however, if ever there was a place worthy of being called a wretched hive of scum and villainy, this is probably it. The room is littered with drunks and crackheads, human and thin blood alike, their minds lost in their cruel little worlds, their bodies splayed out across the floor. Just say it's a crack house! D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear, "I'll cover the back door. You stay near the front.
Let's look around and see what we can find."
Before you can ask what exactly you're supposed to be looking for, D'Angelo disappears into the shadows. I'm gonna look around quietly. Doing your best to blend in with the crowd, which is fairly difficult considering your upright position, you slowly make your way across the large room. Not really knowing what you're looking for, you focus on the details, a knowing smirk, a hateful stare, anything that looks even the slightest bit suspicious. Another dozen or so empty stares, you're almost ready to give up when suddenly something catches your eye. A young, skinny woman hunched in the corner of the room. She gives you a bewildered look, a thousand-yard stare that tells you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's her. As you walk towards her, D'Angelo emerges from the shadows right next to you.
Nice catch.
He kneels down beside her. You can tell he's trying to sound as comforting as possible, but with his gravelly timbre, it's not really working out.
Hey, it's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk.
No, don't talk too loud, too loud. She seems halfway out of it. It's like the lights are on, but whoever is inside is stumbling around after one hell of a bender.
All right. You like quiet. Got it. Can you tell me your name?
Sana, that's what he called me. Suddenly, you hear the door swing open behind you. Even though the night is fairly warm, a cold chill runs down your spine. Was Sana the name of that, like, our Trump-looking sire had mentioned? And, like, the debt being paid? I wonder if the debt was to, like, that, you know, the limo weirdo, Kaiser. Anyways, okay, continuing. You look towards the entrance. There is a woman standing there, and something about her just screams kindred. I wonder what it is. Let's see. Even though she seems comically overdressed for the situation, that screams vampire. Somehow, you don't feel like cracking a smile. Whoever she is, you can tell she means business. She starts making her way to the back of the room, not making any effort to sidestep any of the junkies and drunks. They all know well enough to get out of her way. Acting out of bravery or sheer stupidity, you walk up to her. She looks at you as if you were something she just scraped off her shoe. You smile nervously without even knowing it. Yeah, hey, what's a girl like you doing in a place like this? As soon as you open your mouth, her hand shoots out, grabbing you by the throat. Yo, lady. I mean, this is what she gets for talking to, like, why are you talking to people in a crack house? Okay. The woman looks at you, tilting her head as if examining a curious species of insect. Suddenly, her eyes shift as she notices something behind you. Her face turns from disgusted curiosity to sheer annoyance. You. Okay, yeah, like, okay, this whole ass outfit, this is like totally vampire. Like, what era is this? Like this teased hair. What is this from? Is this like some attempt at a beehive? Yes, of course you're a vampire. Obviously.
Hey, Val, that's my assistant you got there. Do you mind?
She rolls her eyes. You feel the grip on your neck loosen, and you awkwardly fall to your feet. She makes her way towards D'Angelo, pushing you aside like a rag doll. Where is she?
You're gonna have to be more specific, darling.
Don't play coy, Guinea, the manslayer. I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun by order of the prince herself. The girl is to meet her final death. Okay, let's see what blood hunt is. Okay, yeah, so I guess that's just they got a problem vampire and they're like kill him on sight.
Hold your horses, honey. I'm conducting an investigation under the auspices of the sheriff. That counts for something, too.
Look, sweetie, I'm not here for some clip measuring contest. You want this to get ugly? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you step aside and let me do my job.
By all means.
He steps aside in a comically exaggerated fashion. You look at the corner where you last saw Sana, but find no trace of the girl.
Well, I'll be. I could swear she was just here.
Valerie looks at D'Angelo. She smiles softly, but you can tell she's trying very hard not to rip his head off.
You'll regret this. Story of my life.
Without another word, she turns on her heel and storms out. D'Angelo waves his hand in your general direction.
Come on, kid, let's get out of this shithole.
As you emerge from said shithole, you feel the cool night breeze caress your face. It's soothing and almost makes you forget how shitty the last few hours have been. Almost.
Okay, kid, I know you got questions, but it's getting early and I don't feel like having a Q&A session right now. For now, you get one question, make it count.
Oh, fucking weird. Who the hell is this Valerie? Do you know where the girl went? What do we do now? Okay, Valerie's obviously another vampire, whatever. Yeah, do you know where the girl went? It's still hard to believe that girl is our killer. Do you know where she ran off to?
Not sure, but I might have some ideas. The important thing is we know who we're looking for. Too bad Valor knows it too. She's a scourge, kid. Part enforcer, part assassin, all around pain in the ass. We'll be seeing more of her, you can bet on that. And before you ask, yes, we've run into each other in the past. No, I don't feel like talking about it.
Is she your ex-girlfriend? You can just say that. Like, that's very sympathetic.
Alright, kid, I don't know about you, but I'm turning in. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for our girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or two.
And with that, he stumbles off into the distance, not even bothering to keep to the shadows. Can't say you blame him. It really has been a tough night. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, these are the next options, and we need to rest. So we will stop here for now. Please like and subscribe and comment and all of those things. We will continue this one next time. See ya. Bye bye.